Happy Sunday afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today, whether or not you're on today or if you're a year from now. I'm so glad you're watching. My name is Amy Williams and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You're in my studio. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to do a stamping emboss resist technique, which I absolutely love. We're also going to color on ribbon, so we're going to do some very fun stuff today. I'm sporting my Texas Tech shirt because we beat the Longhorns for the first time in a very long time, and that was a very successful day. Today is September 25th, 2022. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera. I do want to say, if you like what I do today, if you could like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. I upload videos every Sunday, so if you ring the bell, then it'll notify you when a new video comes on. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to be your demonstrator. My Stampin' Up! Website and the September host code for September 2022 is in the description, but you can always contact me on my website and there's always going to be a host code. So here we go. Thank you so much. Let me flip the camera. All right. Oh, get my glasses on so I can actually see what I am doing. Let's see if we've got everything. Okay. I'm going to move that just a bit. There we go. Okay. So here is the card that we're going to do today. Here's the embossed resist technique. Embossing is probably one of my absolute favorite techniques. And the reason I like it is because I just think it adds elegance to your card. And I just love that. So, this is the card we're going to do. I want to show you this paper that we have. This is the gingham paper, and I'm going to show you the set that's over here. I've got the paper over here. This set is in our mini catalog that goes until the end of December. It has all of our designer series paper is two-sided. So here's the other side of it. This is Calypso Coral. It has green. It has this black with this side. It has, let's see, let's get all that out of there. There's the coral, which I love. I'm going to take this paper off so I can get to it quicker. And this paper does not have to be holiday. All right, truthfully, it does not. So here is the gingham. Here is the beautiful Daffodil Delight and So Saffron. I just think that's gorgeous. This is, I believe it is Ruby Red. There's that one. Oh, here's the Black and Gray. And then the next one is one of my favorites, Blushing Bride. I love this Blushing Bride color. I made a gorgeous baby card with elephants on that this week. Here is gray and white. You could do any color with this. There's so much you could do with this. Now the next one might be a little bit Halloween-y, so you might want to use that for your Halloween cards. But the other side, look at that. You can use that all year round. So I love that this paper is so versatile. This is Mint Macaron, which is another color that I absolutely adore. So there's that one. Another gray with a little bit, and black. I'm sorry, here's the larger one with the gray and the black on the other side. This is Garden Green. Love that one. And then here's another black and white. And oh, look at the back of this one. Oh, beautiful orange. So much that you can do with this paper. And I just think it's an excellent opportunity to really showcase some different kinds of cards with that. So I love that set. All right, so that is what we're going to use on the background of this card. And I'm going to set that right there so I remember. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to emboss. And the set that I'm using today is called Painted Poppies. This set does have die cuts that match it. This is a cling set. It's got outlines and backgrounds that you can stamp the backgrounds. It's beautiful you know, a field of poppies. It's just got a lot of wonderful things you can do with it. I also love having a background stamp. That's a great thing to have. So this is a beautiful set that we're going to emboss with. Now, I'm going to get the paper out first. Here is the paper we're going to stamp on. If you have never embossed, this is this little set right here is in the catalog right now. My hair is in it. This is a fantastic set. They don't always have this. The catalog ends in December. We don't know if they will continue this set. So if you don't have a set like this or a tray, I highly suggest this. It does come with the embossing buddy. It comes with these ceramic reverse tongs, can't even think of the word. All right, and then this little brush, and this helps you brush everything out. I haven't brushed everything because I knew I'd be using it again. So we are going to first use this embossing buddy. I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm just going to tap all over here. As we touch our paper, of course, the oils from our hands get on the paper. This little embossing buddy helps the embossing powder not to stick in those places that you didn't want to. So I've got my the small stamp and the large stamp of painted poppies that I'm going to use today, and the Versamark stamp. And this is a watermark stamp that you use to emboss with when it is an option. So I'm going to use both. I'm going to be a little ambidextrous today. We'll try to stamp with both hands. Now I'm going to try to put these a little close together. I'm going to try not to overlap them, but I do want them to be close together so there's quite a bit of embossed images. So I'm going to start right here in the corner with that little guy. It's kind of hard to see. I know. It's kind of the trick of the light. Look at that. Okay. And then I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to do this over here. Let's see. I'm going to do that here. Okay. I'm not going to be ambidextrous. I lied. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to got to get my head out of the way, Amy. Get your head out of the way, Amy. All right. And I'm trying not to touch the paper with my fingers at this point, just because I don't want to get those oils on there. Let's put that right there. And then I'm going to use this. Oh, look at that. All right. This one's kind of got that nice kind of corner, so you can kind of stick it in there. Got that a little close, but that's okay. It's all good. We can move it. And we can't move it, but we can work with it. How about that? We can definitely work with it. All right, I'll put that right there. All right. And then I'm going to put this right here. Wait, I need to put ink on it. Right there. And this right there. And I really want to get a lot on here. So I'm really trying to kind of cover a lot of ground in here. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this. Okay, so I'm going to lift it a little bit and see if you can see it on the camera. I don't know if you can see that, if the light kind of shines there or not, but that's okay. I'm going to put it in here, and I'm going to add my embossing powder. Now, all right, so I'm going to just kind of go like this. You can really kind of see it once I do that. Probably should have turned off the fan, but that's okay. All right. And then I'm just trying to get that in all the little places. And then since I have it on so much, I've got, all right, and then I'm gonna do that. All right, so I'm gonna close this because earlier I spilled it. And I'm gonna put this off to the side for later. All right, and so then I've got my paper, and you can kind of see it a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. I hope you can see it on the camera. Okay, So I'm going to use our embossing tool. I really like this embossing tool. One, because I like the plastic that you can't touch the heating element in there. I also love that it has two strengths. So it can, number one, is not quite as hot, and it's good for vellum. But for this, I'm going to use two. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to use these little tweezers, reverse tweezers. That's the word. I knew there was a word. I'm just going to put my hand on. I'm just going to use them to touch it. I found that when I get doing it and I move this, sometimes I start squeezing and then it opens, it falls to the ground. And, well, then there's not a good thing. So I'm just using them to push it, to hold it down. So what you're going to do when you emboss is you're going to kind of wiggle it around. You don't want to stay, in one place too long, because it could, burn the paper. But you're going to start to see this shine up in just a minute. Let's see. Oh, I think I see it. Yep, there it goes. There it goes. And so that powder is going to turn shiny. And you can kind of see it, hopefully. Oh, see. There it is. There it is. I want to make sure I get this part back here. Okay. All right. Let's go. Come on. There we go. Ta-da! Look at that. And again, I'm just keeping it around. You have to make sure you're seeing all the little places where it's light. And honestly, what I'm gonna do, I think that down here it's not got it. Yep, that hadn't gotten it. And sometimes you have to kind of look at it in different angles. So I'm gonna kind of look at it at this angle. I'm not sure this down here got it. So I'm gonna, yep, it hadn't quite gotten it. All right, so I think I've gotten it all. And honestly, if you find, like if you get in here and you go, oh no, I really wanted, say I hadn't done this one right here, which has actually happened on one earlier that I did. I had done the whole thing and I had this one off and I went, oh, well, that's okay, it won't worry. That's not true. It did matter. It did worry. So I came back, I stamped that out of the embossing powder and redid that. So you can always re-emboss when you need to. And that's something I think is really good about and forgiving about embossing. So I'm going to kind of, I'm going to take this and kind of wash off just to make sure there's not any embossing powder on my surface. All right. If you don't have a microfiber towel around your studio, I highly suggest you get one. This is invaluable. I use it all the time. All right, so although this is nice, you can't really see a lot, right? And that's not what we want. We want to be able to see the color. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral, because Calypso Coral is the color of the paper. All right, and you can kind of see I've got a little embossing powder on the pad. I'm probably gonna need to fix that because I didn't clean off my surface, so I probably should have done that. And the second color I'm using is So Saffron. So I'm gonna use those. And then I'm gonna use these, the blending brushes, okay? So I've got a blending brush for So Saffron and a blending brush for this. Now, the blending brush comes in sets of 3. I'm working my way towards getting the whole set because I'm a little bit anal when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I like to have everything done, and they'll be labeled once they're all in. You can wash them and reuse them. They wash beautifully. You know, have maybe a reds one, a blues one, a green, and maybe a yellow. If you know, to kind of save yourself money. Now, I am actually only going to emboss or color this section right here. I'm going to leave this part blank, and I'm going to make sure I don't have anything on my hands because earlier I did and I got some stuff on my card. So I'm going to try that. So I'm going to start by using my, I'm going to tap my brush into this, and then I'm going to tap it over here, get a little bit off because I don't want too much on here before I go on. You can go darker, but you can't go lighter. So I'm going to start off with the side, and then I'm going to come on. And I'm using a light hand on this, and I'm going to show you one that I used a heavier hand that is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so you can always go get a little more. Again, I'm going to do that. All right, so I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go a little darker than I did on the card earlier. So I've got this. Now I'm going to take my yellow with my So Saffron and go in. Normally I would say go lighter first, but for me, I really wanted to get the flowers to be more poppy and kind of the outside around the flowers to be the yellow. I don't know why, I just did. So I'm gonna actually add a little bit more color. So I'm gonna go a little bit darker with them. Let's go a little bit darker. Let's bring that color out just a little bit more. And you can see, I always have my hand right here. You probably shouldn't. You're really supposed to have it more like this so you don't put much color on there. I think this is the control freak in me that's doing that. But you don't have to be a control freak. I might be a little bit, but not too much. All right, I even let my stamp club people do whatever they want with their cards. I used to be a little more controlling and go, oh, well, that's not what I said to do. But I don't do that anymore. Now I say, you can do whatever you want. It's your card, not mine. What do I care? This comes from being a teacher. Okay, so I like that. I'm happy with that. So because I do want some of it to stay white, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and close these up because if I know me, I will stick my hand in them, which is why I still have black. And look at that, more ink. So I'm gonna clean that off just a minute because I know me. All right. So this looks good. I like it, but that white doesn't stand out enough. So I'm gonna take my microfiber cloth and I'm gonna do this. I want you to look at the difference between this flower and this flower. Do you see how that white just totally popped out? So if you get, because the ink is still gonna attach to this, but it's not going to dry on there. Plus, you don't want your person receiving it to get ink on their hands, right? So I'm just going to do that and bring that white out. And that, to me, just makes that pop. And I love the look of this, all right? You still have the shiny over here, and that's why I went ahead and stamped the whole card, because I wanted to still see the outlines of those flowers. I just wasn't highlighting those flowers. Now I'm going to show you one I did that is completely done and I really saturated it with color. Look at that. Doesn't that just pop? I'm going to be honest, I will make this into a card later because I think this is just, well, I just think it's stunning. So, and again, I used my cloth on there and I took it off to shine up the white. But that is, that's if you go, you know, a little more intense with your color. This is a little bit lighter in color. They're totally different looks. Same base, the exact same base, just adding more color from your blending brushes. And I did do the yellow in there as well, but I really saturated it with that Calypso Coral, which is probably more in line with the colors of the actual flowers. But anyway, so that is that. Oh, I just love that. All right, so we've got, this is done. And I like this. I think this is pretty. But I wanted to kind of do a little bit more with this, okay? And so what I am going to do is I'm going to take my, take your pick tool, and I'm going to use it to kind of turn the edges here. Now I'm going to kind of bring these edges around, and I'm going to do this one and this one. Okay, I did that. I did this, and when I showed my husband the card, he goes, do you know they're sticking up? I said, yes, that's a design element. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush. I'm not going to add any more ink to it, but I'm going to kind of flick it across here because I want this to be colored, okay? I want that color to show on that. Now, you can also, where did it go? Oh, dear me. Where did that go? Where did my, Well, you can't also because I can't find it. I was gonna get a nail file and rough up the edges a bit, but it looks like I cleaned it up. And I cleaned it up so well, I don't know where I cleaned it up. So forget that, you're not gonna do that. But if you wanna rough it up, you can use that. But I just liked this little addition of that right there. Okay, so there is this, which I love. I'm gonna set this off to the side. Now I'm gonna use a bit of ribbon, and this is the frayed ribbon, which here it is. I love this ribbon. I'm gonna kind of gauge how much I need, and I'm gonna cut it off with my snips. Always put things on the left side, but then I'll need them on the right side. All right, so I looked at this and I was like, you know, this just doesn't quite do it for me, okay? So I didn't like the white. I wanted to take this ribbon and saturate it with color. I didn't have a Calypso Coral ribbon, but I did have white, and I do have my blender pens, okay? So these are alcohol-based pens. This is Calypso Coral, and this is So Saffron. And when you buy the set, they come as a set of two, a dark and a light, and dark and a light. And you can use these, oh, so many techniques with these. I have so many things running in my brain that I'm gonna use those for, but this is what we're gonna do with them today. So I'm gonna actually turn this because that's got a little yellow from my last little jaunt. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna take the, I don't know, long tip side, I don't know what it's called, but brush tip, sorry. And I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna go like this. I'm not going to the end because I know I'm gonna wrap it around, and I don't want to, I don't wanna waste the ink, right? So I'm just gonna go like that, and I'm gonna pull that kind of forward a little bit. So that is that. Then I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna blend them. I'm gonna blend it together. So here's the next kind of color. I'm gonna kind of go over that again. So that makes it a little lighter. Okay. Then I'm gonna take my yellow. I'm gonna take the lighter of the So Saffron and go next. And again, I'm blending that over. So I've got that. And you just are, it's just fading one color into the next, and I love that look. And then I'm gonna end with this darker So Saffron right here. All right, so there we go. And then I'm gonna put it on my card. Make sure I've got it all to where it's gonna show. Yes, so there's that. I'm gonna clip this down just a bit because I probably got a little overzealous in my cutting. So there is that. So I'm gonna put it about right there. I kind of like where that is, and I'm gonna turn this over. And I use tape, okay? This is something that's in my studio all the time. It's a tape dispenser, Scotch tape dispenser. I actually got it at Costco at Christmas several years ago because this is also my wrap station at Christmas. So it just clips onto the edge of my table, and I can just pull tape off when I need it. If you like to wrap presents, this is genius. And I always use tape when to tape ribbon down. There's no reason to use expensive, oh wait, I moved that. So let me make sure. You don't want to use your expensive adhesive for something like this. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna push that like that, and I'm gonna add tape there. Alrighty. And then I can see that I've got the color, so I'm gonna kinda, I don't wanna pull it too taut, but I don't want it to be loosey-goosey on the front. So there we go. So there is that all securely on, and there we go. So there's that. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is my sentiment, because we've gotta have a sentiment. I'm using Peaceful Moments. I think this is a beautiful stamp set. I love the font on it. But I also love that really you've got in one stamp set all of the sentiments you need. It's a great beginning stamp set. I also love Charming Sentiments, but it's got, you know, these are a little larger. So I kind of like the little larger look. You've got your happy birthday, congratulations, thinking of you, thank you. Sympathies, which I hate that I need, but I feel like I need that more and more lately. Just nice little things. Life is better with a friend like you. I just like this one. I'm going to use thank you because I've realized that my stash of thank you cards is dwindling. So that is what I've used. I feel like I've been making a lot of happy birthday cards, and obviously I use those, but I like to write thank you notes. When somebody does something for me, I like to write a thank you note. So I'm using the Calypso Coral again. I've got thank you on my block. I'm just gonna stamp it. Now, I'm gonna punch this out so I can put it anywhere on here I want. And that's the beauty of using a punch. So I'm gonna put it right here in the middle. In this case, I'm not saving any paper. Okay, so there's my nice clean stamp. Probably should have, yeah, anyway, there's my stamp. And I am using this punch today. I love this punch. I can't remember if it's in the full catalog or the mini catalog, but I use it a lot. Our stamps come closed, and you store them closed. When you're ready to open them, you're just gonna push that forward and it opens, and you're gonna slide it in here. Now, I can slide it in here all I want, but that doesn't help me, right? So I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna slip this in here to where this is in the middle. I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna stamp it, okay? Then you have a little more control over what it looks like. So there is that. Okay, now I love this. I think this is pretty. I can put it on here. That would be great. I'm gonna add a touch of that right there, just to push that down a little bit. Okay, this looks great. I can put it right there. Looks great. But I decided that I wanted this to be, I felt like that white was just a little too stark. So I'm gonna take again my blending brush. I'm not adding any ink to it. And I'm just gonna go around the sides. I'm just gonna kind of get those sides, you know, just give it a little touch, a little yellow. Let's add the yellow in there because we wanna make sure we've got the saffron going. Right? Again, you use as little or as much as you want. It is your card. So the next thing I'm gonna do is add the dimensionals, because you are gonna probably need dimensionals over that ribbon. So one thing I wanna make sure to do is to get them, one on this very top and one on this very bottom, because I wanna make sure they hit the paper, not just the ribbon. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure. Now I'm probably over dimensioning this, but I'm just making sure that I have enough on the tops and the bottom that I'm gonna hit that. So I'm gonna pull these off. All right. Like that. Those things go all over my studio. Actually, they go all over my house. So I'm gonna kind of go to the side. You can put it right in the middle. Again, it's your card. You put wherever you want, but I kind of liked that. Off to the side. So I'm gonna do that. Now, in my original card, I kind of stuck it like that, but I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I wanna add it. I'm kind of liking the little off thing. So I'm gonna kind of do that. But I'm gonna do that, and I've got this piece of paper right here, and look, I'm only needing these edges. I don't need the center. So honestly, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna punch some punches out of this because it's not gonna show, okay? And then I have 2 punches, 2 pieces that are already punched. Look at that. Nobody will know. Plus it'll be a little bit lighter for shipping. And then I've got these two for another card. I'm gonna slip those into my little pouch. I've got a punch pouch. And when I need something, I can go to there, see if I've already got something punched. If I don't, there you go. So there we go. So then I'm gonna add this to this. And again, I'm gonna do it a little bit off center. Let's see. I don't need it. Oh, I did it in the center. Huh, did not need that. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh wait, I wanted to do it a little off center. This is just, normally when I do something, I do a 1/4 of an inch margins or matting. I only did an 1/8 of an inch matting on this because I knew I was gonna be doing that, and I'm trying not to waste too much. I don't wanna waste much of my designer series paper. So here is, I'm gonna add this to my designer series paper onto here. Now, as you can see, I did the same thing with this. I cannot see having this be all paper. It doesn't make sense to me. I couldn't do it. So I got my deckled rectangle. I deckled rectangled that out. I've got it right there, so it fits in there. So this is out. I've got this ready for another card. Who knows? It might even go like that. Ah, look at that. There you go. I might even have a card in the making right there. Look at that. Huh. Who knows? Who knows? But at least I'm not wasting paper. So I'm gonna add that. See, can't even see those. And then I'm gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna do this one straight. So there we go, right? Okay, now got that on there. Now my original card again, I did the Calypso Coral, but I kind of wanted to see what it would look like on yellow. So I'm gonna show you both. So I can do the yellow, and that makes it a little bit lighter, which is beautiful. Okay, so I've got that look. And then I've got the darker look, which I think with my yellow sticking out, I think I'm gonna stick with this. Although I do really like the yellow, I could do both. That gives it more of a lighter look. I kind of like the brightness of that, so I'm going to do that. So then I'm gonna attach that. Got a little sticking up there, so that might stick. And then I'm gonna do that. All right, so there is that. I'm gonna pull that around a little bit more, pull that around a little bit. Let's see, stick it around there. Yeah, all right. So then you see a little more of that yellow. I love that. Now, what's a card without a little bit of bling? So I'm using these fine sparkled gems. I love these. So let's see, I've got my take your pick tool here. I know I want a yellow one right there. So I don't know why I always start with the smaller gems at the top, and I go larger at go to the bottom. I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if it does anything. I don't know. I just like it. So I could do 1, 2. I usually go 3 or 5, but I definitely want one I know right here. So I think maybe on this one, that's enough. I don't think I need too much more. Now, the one other thing I wanted to do was, I did want to do in the middle. I did want to do something in the middle. So I did forget to cut it. So I'm gonna real quick cut a piece of basic white. I'm gonna go 5 1/4. Okay. 5, 4. Because let's make the inside beautiful too, right? I'm gonna get I'm gonna get these two back out. Okay, and I'm gonna get let's move this over here so I don't ruin it. Okay, and so let's do a little bit of poppy here. Maybe just the one. Maybe I'll just do the one. Maybe I'll do the two. Maybe I'm lying. Let's do that. Okay, and then, yeah, let's do this. Why not? Give a little bit of color on the inside. And let's add that right there. I think I touched it twice, but there you go. That's just a little bit of an inside nod to what we did outside, kind of the reverse effect. So we will stick this right in here. So let me add my adhesive. The more I do these little nods in the inside, the more I like them. It still gives you enough room to write a beautiful thank you note, but it just gives a little nod to what we did. So that is my card today. I hope you liked this card. I really enjoyed doing it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Let me flip back up to me. Got to see me a little bit more today. So here's my card. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out there, write a thank you note, send your cards. Nobody appreciates a homemade card no, that was wrong. Everyone appreciates a homemade card. Nobody appreciates a card like a homemade card. When I give my cards, people they love them, and I find out they keep them and appreciate them, and they will you too. It makes everything more special. Go out there and create and have a fabulous week. Thanks for watching. Bye.